Hi guys, welcome back for another episode of Gaming with my Dart Swinger. In this episode, I play another space sim. This time, I play Elite Dangerous. Don't worry, Star Citizen fans, I still love Star Citizen and will continue to upload Star Citizen content. Elite Dangerous is a space trading and combat simulator and is the fourth game in the Elite series, which dates back to 1984. Like Star Citizen, Elite Dangerous has been developed by another pioneer in the space sim genre, this time by David Braben. Braben was one of the two designers of the original Elite games. In-game, you start off with a few credits and a starter ship called the Sidewinder, a basic all-purpose ship with limited capabilities in all aspects. While the Sidewinder is very basic, it's good enough to give you an idea of how to play the game and what you want to do in the game world. Additionally, it gets you started with earning credits and reputation needed to get better ships, gear, and missions. Like in Star Citizen, you can perform many jobs in the galaxy, in this instance, our own Milky Way galaxy. These jobs can be trading, space trucking, bounty hunting, exploring, mining, salvaging, pirating, or a combination of any and all of these. Keep in mind, however, that salvaging and pirating are considered illegal and they will levy fines against you and or place bounties on your head. Remember that when you try to dock at a station in controlled space, you may be scanned for contraband, stolen goods, or warrants to include bounties. Personally, I'm starting off with a combination of trading and space trucking with some exploration on the side. To get started in space trucking, visit the bulletin board by accessing the Starport Services menu when docked. There, you'll find announcements and details of available contracts, including those that are available but unobtainable to you due to the lack of cargo space or range of your ship, or your reputation is too low with that faction for them to trust you enough to take the mission. Find a contract that is within your ship's parameters and will make you the most credits for your efforts and accept it. Alternatively, if there is no acceptable contracts available, you can venture into trading by going to the commodities market to buy goods to sell in another system. Before you buy though, look at what's available for how much, then check Thrudd's Elite Dangerous tools to find a nearby system that will buy that commodity for more than you paid for it and for more than enough to cover your fuel for the trip. A general rule of thumb is to find the commodity with the highest profit margin available. I'll link Thrudd's website in the description below. As you travel to new systems, your scanner will scan new celestial bodies and collect the data. When you travel more than 20 light years from that location, you can visit Universal Cartographics and sell that data for easy credits. The data doesn't take any cargo space other than a hardpoint or mounting location that could carry an additional 2 cargo units. While you're in the Starport Services menu, you can also repair, refuel, and rearm your ship, pay fines and bounties levied on you, collect bounties from taking out others that have bounties placed on them, collect on combat vouchers, upgrade your ship, or buy a new ship. Speaking of buying new ships, there may be those watching that have noticed that the ship I'm using isn't the starter Sidewinder, but the cargo special purpose ship, the Adder. After several hours of flying the Sidewinder, learning the game, and upgrading my ship, I decided that the Sidewinder wasn't cutting it for me anymore. Since I'm not into combat at the moment and place more value on cargo space and scanners, I chose to upgrade to the Adder to give me the same cargo space stock with a scanner that my Sidewinder had upgraded without the scanner, which was 6 cargo units. In my Adder's current configuration, I can carry 12 cargo units, have a scanner, and travel more than 11 light years in a single jump. I also find the Adder to be better looking and the cockpit more interesting to look at during those long sessions of jumping from system to system and station to station. I do want to get more into the combat later. However, I want to have enough credits available when I do that if I lose a ship in combat, I can get a replacement ship as well as have a good hauling ship for my cargo and trade runs. When deciding whether or not to upgrade to a new ship, keep in mind that when you lose a ship, you either have to pay to replace it and its upgrades or be stuck back in a stock Sidewinder for free. There is insurance, so the cost of replacement is only about 5% of the purchase price of the ship and installed upgrades in my experience so far. Depending on the available contracts, you may also have to buy commodities to make leaving the station profitable. Enough of my rambling. Let me take you on a trade run from Boltzmann Gateway in LTT 7548 to Morokov Station in BD11 4932. We'll be buying bioreducing lichen from Boltzmann Gateway, selling it to Morokov Station, buying Endite at Morokov Station, and returning to Boltzmann Gateway to sell the Endite. Alright, here we are on the Adder, at Boltzmann Gateway. The first thing we want to do is go to Starport Services so we can get to our commodities market. Once in the commodities market, we need to go find the lichen that we need to buy. And we're going to buy 12 of them, since 12 is the cargo capacity of the adder. We're going to go back to the main menu, back out to the cockpit, and then press 1 to access our navigation screen, and find the appropriate system in the navigation pane, and then lock that destination. Once locked, we can back out and request our launch. Right. On ship release, we are able to now lift up off the pad and head towards the exit. Once I lift up off the pad, I also press insert to raise my gear. Once out, I start aligning with my destination. There's a little orange circle above the big orange circle, just to the left of it. There'll be a blue dot in that. And I'll line that up in the center of those crosshairs, and that'll be my target. Now that I'm lined up, I boost to go away, try to get there a little bit quicker, try to break that mass lock. And of course I get my ship scan to ensure I'm not doing anything illegal. Just gave me the notice saying I'm clear to go. So I boost away, hoping to get to that, hoping to remove that mass lock pretty quick. Now that the mass lock is removed, I can press J to charge my frame shift drive. And once it's charged up, since I'm fully throttled, it'll jump me to the next system. Now that I've dropped out of the jump, I'm now in Super Cruise, which is my in-system speeds. I need to lock my next station, making sure I don't run into the star because it will burn you up. Now I line up with the station, keeping an eye on the bottom number on the station, trying to keep that between about 7 and 12, ideally somewhere closer to about 9 or 10. Anything higher, it's going to take too long to get to the station. Anything lower, and I'll probably fly right past it. And once that middle number says 1 kilometer or less, or excuse me, 1 megameter or less, it'll give me a safe disengage prompt, and then I can press J to jump out of Super Cruise. As I approach the station, the ship will automatically slow down to keep that interval where it says 7 to 10 seconds. I'll just keep that as I get closer. Just showed we've had the safe disengage ready. So I pressed J and now we're at the station. Now the problem with these big stations that are shaped like that is the entrance is never on the same side. So now I've got to fly around the station to try to find it. I generally prefer to do that before I request my permission to dock, because sometimes it may take me a few minutes to find it. Additionally, I'm only allowed 10 minutes to dock. Now right here I was heading in one direction and then I saw those other ships heading in a different direction, so I started to follow them. The reason I do that is because those ships are heading towards the entrance as well. So that kind of gives me a clue as to where that entrance is. And of course on my way to the entrance I get scanned again. Go figure. Fortunately, I'm not carrying anything illegal. I don't have any bounties or any kind of warrants or fines, so I'm good to go. Also, generally when the federal ships scan me, that means I'm pretty close to the entrance, so I was able to go ahead and turn around, see the entrance, and request my docking. The blue prompt on the screen above the scanner in the center tells me how long I have to get to my pad and which pad I need to go to. So now I fly through the entrance, rotate to line up with the pad, and press insert to lower my gear. Slow it down so I don't overshoot. Start down strafing to get in. Now right there I got a little close to another pad and it warned me about it, because if I stay above a pad for too long, it'll give me an infraction and they may want to start shooting me down. In this game, unfortunately, everything they will shoot you down for. Line up with the target, strafe down until the dock catches me. Now that we're docked, I can enter Starport Services in the commodities market to sell off the lichen we purchased at the previous system. Now that those are sold, we can pick up the Indite. And set the navigation for LTT 7548, which is where the Boltzmann Gateway is at, where we started. So lock the course, and then click launch. So it brings us down below the pad and turns us around, so we can have a straight shot out the exit. Strafe up to lift off, retract the landing gear, and rotate to line up with the exit. And follow the same things we did to get here to get back. Also, as a word of caution, when you're flying from system to, or excuse me, when you're flying in system, you can be interdicted, which means that a pirate ship or somebody just looking to take your cargo can drop you out of your super cruise and kill you so they can take your cargo. Fortunately, that hasn't happened to me too much, and it doesn't happen to me on this run. Out there, that planet was starting to slow me down a little bit, so I had to steer away from it to pick up speed, and then steer myself back on course. Fortunately, at this station, I can see the entrance as I pull out of Super Cruise, so I can boost and go ahead and request docking.
Landing gear deployed. Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
Now that we're docked, we can go onto the starport services so we can access the commodities market and sell off the lindite that we just purchased. The total for this trip was about 11,000 credits in profit. Before we move on to the conclusion of this video, I wanted to take a moment to show you guys the galaxy map. This location here is the starting point that we were at and returned to. And then this one is where we went to pick up the lindite. So that entire trip was a round trip to that second station and back. Now as I scroll out, you can see the entire galaxy. And every bit of that is explorable by us as players. In conclusion, Elite Dangerous has great graphics, a full working economy that is influenced by players' decisions and gameplay, great sound, and what has to be the largest sandbox world in any MMO to date. However, it's not all wine and roses with Elite. When you start off, you do some basic combat and flight tutorials and are then thrown out into the vastness of space without any other guidance. It takes a while to get used to how things work and how to make credits. Additionally, most of the gameplay is what you see in this video, flying from station to station trying to earn a few credits. Unless you're actively looking for combat, which can still take a while, combat of any kind is very rare. You never get to leave the ship, and the only time that you see the outside of your ship is when you're in the hangar while upgrading the ship. The flight model for Elite is tame and familiar. Unfortunately, it feels a bit sluggish for combat for my tastes. To caveat that statement, I have only flown the Sidewinder and the Adder, so there may be more agile and unforgiving fighter aircraft that are available to purchase later in my progression. Overall, Elite Dangerous is a fun game that offers a lot of potential and an immersive environment. It's not for everyone though. It takes a significant investment in time to progress through the game, at least in the early stages. It does have a steep learning curve to figure out the best ways for you to make money. If you're not willing to take the time to do so, this game may not be for you. Otherwise, I recommend you giving Elite Dangerous a try. Don't forget, if you guys like this video, give it the old thumbs up and subscribe. And thanks for watching.